Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I have another top 10 video for you guys, and this one is a fan requested video, so if you guys ever have a top 10 or a top 5 that you want me to make, let me know down below. I usually do top 5s, I haven't done a top 10 in some time, and this one I actually found 10 that I could put into a list, and this one is top 10 most annoying types of NPCs. Now for NPCs, I'm talking about non-playable characters, different groups in the world, AI. We're not going to be focusing on like specific characters like, Lester at LJT or Avon Hertz. We're instead going to be talking about those groups, that general NPCs that you just encounter in the world that can just be annoying and annoy the most amount of players. So now, let's get started with the video. So starting off at number 10, we have gang attack enemies. Now, gang attacks, I know what some people are going to say. They're going to say if you don't like fighting the enemies, then just don't go to the area. The problem is that oftentimes the gang attacks were in the area that we wanted to go to. And Rockstar, to be fair to them, they have improved it. They have removed the most annoying gang attack in the game. The most annoying one was a Sandy Shores gang attack, and Sandy Shores airfield, I should say. And the reason that location was just so annoying was because whenever you tried to get a plane or a helicopter from there, the gang attack would spawn and they would shoot you out when you would try to take off. And the most annoying one that I found so far is this one right here, Zancudo. Whenever I got trapped in a gang attack, it was always at this location. I was trying to get to Fort Zancudo, I was flying like a plane or a helicopter, and I went down in the area, my helicopter died, like here, it crashed, and then I was trapped. And every single time I would respawn at the back of this street right here. I had barely any places to go. I'm certainly not going to go up the mountain, and I had all these enemies facing me right here, and they're pretty accurate, they're pretty deadly. These enemies are much more accurate than normal enemies. They can be pretty annoying, and the worst part about this specific gang location here near Zancudo is the fact that when you try to spawn a vehicle, you try to spawn a buzzard, or even if you try to spawn like a land vehicle, like I tried to spawn my thruster jetpack, it spawns all the way down the street back there, so it's really annoying to try to get away from this location. I wish that there was like a button you could hit, and that button would be choose to participate in the gang attack, or choose not to participate in the gang attack, because too many times, we're driving, and we happen to drive in the wrong area, there's a gang attack, and then we get caught and they shoot us out, and then we just keep getting spawned near them. It's kind of annoying. At number 9, we have enemies and armored vehicles, and I'm specifically directing this towards the new Zancudo survival that came out recently when Rockstar added new survivals to GTA Online. But the problem is, when enemies are in armored vehicles, specifically ones with machine guns on them, weapons on them, they are extremely accurate. And this, happens in survival, especially when you have helicopters. When they're shooting out of a helicopter, they're going to hit you with perfect accuracy. And, in this case, I actually saw a barrage spawn, a barrage of a machine gun. And take a look at this guy. I had no chance. I literally had no chance. I had full health and I had full armor, and I just got wasted right away. And that's the problem, is the enemies just have such crazy auto aim. They can just aim such perfect aim, special forces aim, and I'm going to talk about this a little later also, but just whenever they're in any turreted vehicle, they're just hitting you with perfect accuracy. Even if they're in a buzzard, they're going to be hitting you with those machine guns with perfect accuracy as well. Moving on to number 8, we have the Balas, the Vagos, and also the Grove Street families. And the reason that I consider these gangs very annoying is because whenever you're down here in their neighborhood, if you take a shot, you just fire one bullet in the air, they literally all go after you. And there's a lot of them that spawn on these streets, and they can be pretty deadly. And the worst is when you're in the middle of a mission, when you're doing a mission and you have to drive through that area and you're getting chased by other enemies, and then you open fire in self-defense, well, guess what? All the gang members are also going to go after you. I mean, take a look at this. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. We were doing a Merriweather sale for the bunker, and I made the drop right here. Merriweather was coming right after us. We fire at Merriweather, defending ourselves, and then all the gangs in the area, they just go after us, shoot us out. Pretty annoying that you have to deal with those extra enemies. And in import-export, this can be pretty annoying because one of the vehicle warehouses is right near the Vagos hangout, and if you're getting chased by an NPC or even a hostile player and you shoot back, they're going to shoot up the car, and they're going to really damage it, and the car's going to lose thousands of dollars in a matter of seconds. Moving on to number 7, we have Merriweather Valkyrie troops. Now, these guys can be really annoying. Now, I was thinking about putting Merriweather as a faction altogether on here, but I was thinking to myself, what would be the most annoying type of Merriweather enemy? In my opinion, it's the Merriweather Valkyrie enemies. And basically, these type of enemies, you can encounter them in 3 missions that I know of. You can encounter them in the Humane Labs heist. You can encounter them whenever you have a crate pickup mission, and you can also encounter them on a crate sale mission when you have the Titan. And they can be pretty annoying, and especially when you're flying a Titan, they can shoot shoot down the Titan pretty quickly, because their accuracy on those miniguns is very, very good. They will hit you with perfect accuracy, and when you have the crate mission, like I'm doing right here, you shoot down the helicopter, and that's not the end of it, because 3 guys will actually parachute down, depending on how many crates you have. In this case, I had 3, so it's 3 guys that are parachuting down. And people are probably watching this video and thinking to themselves, why are you just picking up 1 crate? Why are you just killing 1 guy? Why aren't you killing the other 2 guys? The reason I'm not killing the other 2 guys is because if you don't kill the other 2 guys, the crates won't spawn on the radar for other players. So I don't really want other players to know where my crates are. So that's why I only kill 1 guy. And when you do kill somebody on the ground, you go after them, that's not the end of it, because there's going to be waves of cars spawning going after you. So if you don't get an air vehicle and get out of the area, this can be pretty annoying. And take a look at this, guys. This was from over a year ago, and basically what happened here was some random player in the lobby was doing a crate sale, and he had the sale where Merriweather was going after him. And he had the Valkyrie helicopter spawn, and my warehouse was at the northern part of the city, and because of that, his drop was actually right next to my warehouse, and what ended up happening was the Merriweather Valkyrie helicopter went right after me, and you can see how ridiculous this is. Look at how accurate they are with that explosive cannon. They are so accurate, I have no chance. I can't even react to anything. That helicopter is just on me every single time I respawn. I can't even get a vehicle. I can't even pull out a gun, anything to shoot it down, even a homing launcher in time, just to deal with that helicopter. So this is the problem with the Merriweather Valkyrie troops, and in general, like I was talking about earlier, enemies that are any kind of vehicle that have a turret on it, they can just hit you with such perfect accuracy. I don't mind a challenge, don't get me wrong. I like challenges in games. I like playing difficult games, but this is just ridiculous. They should not be hitting you with perfect accuracy like this. At number 6, we have Headhunter NPCs, and I guess you could count these guys as Merriweather, but the game never really states they're Merriweather. They're just the bodyguards for the target. Now, Headhunter is the most popular VIP work. Most people love Headhunter. I always see people doing Headhunter. But on the other hand, despite people liking this job, people really hate the NPCs, and they admit how overpowered the AI is in this VIP work. But basically what the problem is that these guys, not only do they have great accuracy like the Valkyrie troops that I mentioned before, but they also have really high health. They are actually some of the strongest enemies in the game. So let's say that you're in a buzzer, just like I am right here, and you miss the target. What basically happens at that point is the vehicle starts speeding. They'll be cruising down the street at 80 to 100 miles per hour, going really fast, swerving in and out of traffic, going left and right, and they will still hit you with pinpoint accuracy. They will shoot you out of the helicopter or whatever air vehicle you're in, and even if you're in a ground vehicle chasing them, they will still hit you with pinpoint accuracy. But it gets worse. It gets even worse, because if you take out the ground targets, these guys have so much health. Just take a look at how ridiculous this is. They survive an explosive sniper headshot. You will shoot them in the head with an explosive sniper, and they will survive that. Look at how many times I gotta shoot this guy's body. He's still alive on the ground. It's ridiculous. The AI in this are just so overpowered. They're so powerful, and their accuracy is through the roof. Next at number 5, we have import-export enemies. You guys knew these guys would be on the list. You can't have a list video of top 10 most annoying types of NPCs without having the import-export enemies. And these guys, they are so frustrating that some people have actually stopped playing import-export and stopped doing import-export altogether because of just how frustrating the enemies can be. And what makes them so annoying is the fact that they're hitting your car with pinpoint accuracy, and during import-export, the cars take a lot more damage than normal. The cost value just goes through the roof, and you could get the car shut up just a few times, and you will lose thousands of dollars in a matter of seconds. And if you lose too much money on that car, people feel like doing the whole job is pointless altogether. And the enemies go after you in cars on the ground, and they also go after you in helicopters. Even if you take a cargo bob, you're not fully safe, because helicopters are going to go after you, and they're going to shoot the car that way. Although if a cargo bob, it's less likely to get shot, but it can still happen. That's what's really annoying about these enemies. But also, if you blow them up, you kill them, you shoot them out of their cars, you blow up their helicopters, just more will spawn. And eventually, I believe they run out, but you gotta keep shooting a lot of them, and it just makes it really frustrating. You don't have to deal with the enemies during sale missions if you sell in a lobby with at least 1 player, but when you're doing a resupply mission, some missions will have them chase you, and others won't. There's not really a way to prevent that. At number 4, we have business raid enemies. Now, you guys heard me talking about business raids recently in a video where I was talking about things that should be removed and deleted from the game. Nobody should have to deal with these guys. They can be extremely annoying. And in this case right here, I was actually in the middle of fighting a griefer. And then I got a business raid, and I had to go all the way back here. And I went back here, and my weed business was getting raided. And I had to do something fast because I was losing product, and you can get really stressed out because you see the bar, you're rushing to get over there, you're losing product along the way, and and I wasn't able to bomb them all with my rogue, so I landed the rogue, and then I started getting rushed by them, and I was just fighting wave after wave after wave of enemies. But anyways, just to end it with these business raid enemies, these guys should not be spawning if you pay for security. If you pay for security, these guys should not be in the game, and I don't understand what the security is doing. You know, at least make it so that if you own security, they don't spawn. You know, that would make more of an incentive. I understand that when you purchase security, it reduces the risks, but it still shouldn't happen if you pay for security. That's it. These guys should not come back. At number 3, we have NPC Traffic. Now, out of all the NPCs on this list, these guys are the ones that are the most common. You see them everywhere, all on the roads. And NPC Traffic, they annoy a lot of players. They also annoy me a bunch of times, too. And the reason NPC Traffic can be annoying is because oftentimes they'll block the route that you're trying to go. They'll stop at the worst moments, causing a car crash. They make really idiotic turns, and when you're in the middle of a gun battle, if you're fighting a player or you're fighting cops, the NPCs will freak out the moment that they hear gunfire, and their driving will be all over the place, and oftentimes you get run over and killed by a random NPC driver. But most importantly, sometimes the NPCs, they will literally crash into you for no reason, even if there's no gunfire or anything like that. And I know what people are going to say. People are going to say in the comments, oh no, the NPCs aren't a problem, you're just a bad driver. I've heard people tell me that before. Well, take a look at this. If you think the NPCs aren't bad drivers in this game, this is going to change your mind. I was doing the post-op mission, one of the hardest cell missions in this game. I was driving on the right side of the road as I was supposed to be, and out of nowhere, this happens. This NPC just crashes into me like this. Let's take a look at that in slow motion. Look at it. He just changes into my lane and just hits me straight on. There was no gunfire, nothing else, and I just get smashed. This makes no sense. And on top of that, I was also doing a nightclub popularity mission, driving right here. There was enemies that were shooting behind me, and this NPC makes a U-turn and just smashes into me for no reason. And these car crashes can happen at the worst times ever, and when you're in the middle of a sale, time is crucial. You could get blown up by other people, or you could even run out of time. So this is no joke with these NPCs. They've even ruined heists because people get run over by NPCs. So they can be a real problem a lot of times. At number 2, we have Heist Enemies. You guys knew they would be on this list. And Heist Enemies, they can be really annoying depending on the mission that you're playing. Some people even stop playing Heist altogether because they couldn't handle some of the annoying NPCs. And this is a perfect example of that. This is the Act 2 Avenger mission, one of the most hated setup missions in the game. I haven't heard anybody say anything really positive about this mission. But this mission, this is the very first time that I played this mission years ago. And we didn't know what to expect. And we were lucky that we completed it on our first attempt. I don't know how we managed to do that. But the reason that this mission is so annoying and so hated is because the power goes out, you have to use night vision, and despite you having night vision, it's still really hard to see across the room. But the enemies, they can see you no problem across the room. You peek out for just a second, even with full health and full armor, they can kill you instantly, right away. And even when you snipe at these guys, if you use explosive rounds, they will just get right back up. You have to hit them with multiple explosive rounds. I mean, just take a look at this. So really, depending on the mission, these heist enemies can be really, really annoying. And I mean, in the Act 3 finale, I like the challenge of it, but just the fact that the enemies have just such ridiculously good accuracy. I mean, I wish the enemies were more like the enemies in GTA 4. Those enemies, at least they pose some challenge, but they weren't ridiculously accurate like they are in GTA Online. So these enemies, they can really be a pain depending on the mission that you're playing. And number 1, the number 1 NPC type that is the most annoying and causes the most chaos in GTA Online is the police. Here you guys see me playing Pacific Standard Heist Finale a few years ago, and this is a perfect example of just how overpowered the police can be. They spawn in this game like 1 or 2 blocks away. The moment you commit a crime, they are there like 1 or 2 blocks away, and they will swarm your position. They will rush you really quickly. They're very aggressive in this game, and even if you're driving a car that should be faster than them, oftentimes they will catch up to you pretty quickly, and sometimes you lose a wanted level, but then you get it right away. And in this game, even if you dent a cop car, just touch it by a little bit with your car, they will open fire on you. The police are extremely aggressive in this game. I don't mind the challenge, but sometimes it can get really aggressive with the cops. And to be fair, you can always call Lester to remove them, but they can interfere with everything. They can interfere with heists, they can interfere with businesses, they can interfere with VIP work, they interfere with so much stuff. Just take a look at this. If you don't believe me, the police in this game are extremely aggressive. Just watch this. I wasn't even doing anything. The only thing I did was just stand next to them, and look at what happened. You guys are not gonna believe this.
I'm gonna teach you a lesson.
Moron!
I don't play games.
Oh my god, no!
After you guys saw that, you're probably saying to yourself, what the? Yes. That is how aggressive the police are in this game. They are relentless. I actually missed the police in GTA 4. The police in GTA 4 were a decent challenge, but it was not like this. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like. And if you're new to my channel, enjoy my content, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.